Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we're reacting to a young lady who confesses to sleeping with her high school basketball coach. I'm gonna try my best not to pause it a lot. If I do pause it too much for you, I always leave the creator's name at the top so you can go to her page and watch the full story without my commentary. Alright, let's get busy.
Alright, y'all, so here I am again, back with another video, and I'm gonna tell y'all how my high school basketball coach took me to his house after an away game and slept with me when I was 16. So when I was in high school or whatever, I ran track and I played basketball, and I was really good at both. I was an athlete. Like when I tell y'all straight athlete, I was only focused like on my grades and my sports or whatever. So my mom worked or whatever. She would get up every day like 4 or 5 a.m. and my mom wouldn't get off work until about like evening time. So she had to beat traffic. My mom probably would make it home by 5. My mom was the type of mom that was like, okay, if you have to go to tutoring, if you have to do any other extracurricular activities, etc., you're gonna have to find your own way home. Period, point blank. I'm not giving you a ride. I'm not picking you up. None of that. If you can't catch the bus, like, I don't know, you got to find your own way home. That's how that started. So
my dad was the total opposite. I had to beg and plead in order to be able to take the bus or to walk to school. And I think the only reason he eased up was because he had to be to work at 4 o'clock. So him coming to pick me up at 3 and him having to be to work at 4, those times was a little too iffy. That's crazy that your mom's was just, however you get home is how you get home.
I played basketball from like 5th grade up. So this one, I would say I was 16 because I graduated when I was 17. So this had to be my junior year in high school. We had a new male basketball coach, whatever. Everything, it was normal at the beginning, right? So mind y'all, I'm very, I don't want to say grown for my age, but I was very mature at a very young age. So I was experiencing a lot of stuff. I went through a lot of stuff. So me being 16, like I knew how to hold a intellectual conversation. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I didn't have like a bird brain. I'm not even gonna say that. Let me finish that. I didn't have like a childlike mind at 16. At 16, I thought I was grown, and not in the sense of like being fast, but I was just mature. Like I'm not like the rest of these girls or whatever. Like I'm more advanced.
The girls I grew up with at 16, they thought they were grown. A few of them was dating grown-ass men, had them grown-ass men picking them up at school, was going to them grown-ass men houses before they went home, and was giving up the yams. Do you even call it yams at 60? Ooh, I don't even want to get in that conversation, but yeah.
Than I should be, honestly. So we had got a new basketball coach or whatever. First impression, it was like, okay, he was normal. Like, y'all in school, girls or guys, they'll see a teacher, they'll see a coach or whatever. They're like, oh, they fine or whatever. I never really looked at him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just so focused on my grades in school, I really didn't look at him like that. So I'll see, on and on in the season, I didn't have a lot of rides. So he knew that, and I was like one of the star players on the basketball team. So, like, obviously you want your star player or one of your star players to make it to practice and make it to the game. So he started giving me rides home after the games. So I can't even tell you. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was not
inappropriate,
legal.
Yeah, inappropriate.
I don't know if coaches are able to give. But anyways, I digress. He ended up being my ride home after the games or whatever. So yeah, so it was one after away game. I think we were playing like Kimball or somebody. Like I can't remember what school. Or it could have been no. I forgot what school we were playing, but that's besides the point. So, anyways, like, I'm going to go back.
Now, this goes back to your mother not caring how you got home as long as you got home. Because if your mom's, and I ain't trying to come at your mom's like that, but she's supposed to be more involved. That man was supposed to ask your mother for permission to drop you to and from games. A permission slip was supposed to go out. The school was supposed to be notified that, hey, this student can't make it to the games, so I'm going to use my personal vehicle to take her home. Parents, you got to be involved. You got to be involved, bro. You got to know what's going on.
I'm not going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you how everything led up to this point. So, obviously, I was, not my senior year, I think I was captain. Junior year, I was co-captain. I always started in the games, obviously, because I was that girl. But anyways, it's not about that. So I would have to get the keys from him to go to the locker room or the ballroom to, get the balls and get everything set up for practice. So, this day it was just like a normal day. I'll go to him like, hey coach, like whatever, can I get the keys, set up for practice or whatever. So, he handed me the keys, but he could like kind of like rub my hand like when he gave me the keys or whatever. And that was when I knew, like, okay, he on a different. So mind you, like, when me and him would talk or whatever, we'll be in a group setting, like, I would see him, like, giving me the eye and stuff, and, like, it was just very, like, I'm not even going to say innocent because it was kind of known. Like, I kind of felt like he was, like, feeling me. Like, it's weird to say, but I kind of felt this, like, tension. And so that was the first time he actually, like, physically, like, touched me. So, I got the keys or whatever, I ignored it. The next day or two or so, like, we had practice again, so I'm always the one setting up for practice. So I was like, coach, I get the keys or whatever. So he ended up doing it again. And y'all, like, it came to a point where we was just doing that for a little while, and I actually started to reciprocate. Like, I was like, I was like, when he would give me the keys, I started rubbing on him too. So it was one point, like, I had went to go get the balls or whatever, and he followed me into the room. And so, like, we had, like, a washer dryer setup type of deal. And I was in there like it was a game day or whatever. So yeah, I remember like it was a game day. I had to go put the jerseys and everything in the washer, make sure everybody's jerseys, make sure all the uniforms and stuff is clean. So I went there, he came in there after me or whatever. And like, I was bent over getting the jerseys out the dryer. And like he came in, like he like brushed his up behind me or whatever.
Oh man.
So I'm like, oh, okay. That's crazy. So it wasn't this particular game, but that was like the second big, physical interaction that had happened between us or whatever. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't that game day. It was probably like the next away game. I had like he had to take me home. So I guess on the way, like he was just basically like, you want to come back to my apartment? So I'm like, I guess like. My mom, she think I'm in a game or whatever. She don't know when my games are over with.
Parents, that's what I'm saying. You got to be involved. You got to be in the know. You got to be in the know. Take it from somebody who was 16. We always 16, right? But it depends what kind of shit you was getting into at 16. At 16, a young lady who had a lot of free time, she either had the free crib or she wasn't on lock. Oh my God. What? Yo, what you trying to do? When we hanging out, when we chilling, when you coming through, my man's got the free crib. What's up? When you coming through? You got to be home at a certain time? Nah, my moms don't care. She don't even... Word? I'm going to keep it a band, bro. A lot of the freaks when we was younger, they had parents that wasn't involved like that. They could just run the streets and do whatever the fuck they wanted.
That and the other, whatever. So yeah, y'all. So we ended up going back to his apartment. Mind y'all, like around this time I was 16, so I lost my V card at 14. I had just had my first sexual encounter with a guy at 16. I think it was 16. I actually had with a guy on my on my own or whatever.
Wait, hold on.
So he was probably like the third guy.
Wait, hold on. So how you lost your virginity at 14, but you had your first sexual encounter with a guy at 16? Am I lost about something? Maybe you misspoken. You know what? Let me ask y'all a question, right? Because I know when we was younger, a lot of us was finger champions. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of us had hands. Are we talking about that? Because that shouldn't count. That shouldn't count.
Ever slept with in my life. So we get to the point, whatever, he makes him a drink. He asks me if I want to drink. Mind you, I'm an athlete. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't do nothing. But it was just like, whatever. So he ended up making me a drink. Y'all know what ended up happening after that? Like, whatever. Like, actually, He took a shower, I took a shower, and then, you know, we was just chilling, like, baby, just grown, like. And back then, I'm thinking like, oh, it's normal. No. So yeah, I'm thinking like, well, I was flirting with him, like whatever. I'm being grown, you know. I think I'm not gonna disclose his name or whatever because this was like, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, but obviously I'm 29 now. This was like I was 16. So, yeah. So if you was to Seagoville, it was only one male coach at that time, around that time. So if y'all do know who it is, just don't say anything because it's like I'm not making these to like air anybody's business or anything like that. I'm just speaking my truth and like just telling y'all about all the stuff that's happened to me. Like seriously. But yeah, so
you cannot tell stories that could possibly expose somebody and expect them not to be exposed. I am 100% sure that people that went to school with you saw this video and knew exactly who you was talking about, and your whole class probably done already found out about this shit. I wouldn't be surprised if this man's life is ruined right now without you even knowing. Now, I don't have no sympathy for this nigga. Let me go ahead and say that. Because I feel as though what I just said make it seem like I had sympathy for him. I don't have no sympathy for him because he was grooming you this whole time. So for an adult to groom a minor like that, especially a minor that you are responsible for at the moment, because when you send your kids to school, the teacher as an adult is responsible for them. Your coach, when you go to the games with your coach as an adult is responsible for you. He took advantage of that. He took advantage of you.
At the time, I'm like, you know, ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, I wanted to do it. But it's like, it goes back to like how men prey on you. Like him knowing my situation with my mom, knowing that, oh, I'm not going to have no ride. Like him like, oh, we're spending more and more time together. So it's like he's feeding off of this.
Yeah.
My weakness or whatever.
He was grooming you.
It's just like at first, you know, I'm telling him my situation. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at basketball. I want to play basketball. I've been playing basketball, obviously, all middle school, almost all high school, whatever. And I'm telling him, like, I'm not going to be able to make practice or this, and that. So, obviously, you know, it was out of genuine help at first. And then it just went from one thing to the next. And so, it's crazy because I actually forgot about this incident up until, like, I forget about it and then it comes back on and off. But when I sit down and I think about all of the things that's happened to me growing up, it came across my mind yesterday because I was like, I really forgot about that. I was a junior in high school, 16 years old, and this 30-something-year-old man took me to his apartment to sleep with me. Somebody who's supposed to be a male role, like my coach.
Protecting you. He took advantage.
So, like, a lot of people are going to, for one, growing up, everything that happened to me, I used to hate my mom. Like, I used to despise her because I felt like every time something bad happened to me is when she wasn't around, especially in my younger years. So it's like, if my mom was picking me up, this is how I used to think about stuff. I always blamed her. If my mom was picking me up on a regular basis, I wouldn't have to ask this grown man for no rides. Like,
exactly.
Period. Like, exactly. And it's just like, dang, I'm always put in like compromising situations. And genuinely at the beginning, I wasn't even on that type of time with him until he like was like, okay. So then I was like, okay. But it doesn't make it right at the end of the day. Some people probably blame me, oh, you were being fast, you were doing this and that. But at the end of the day, I'm a 16-year-old girl. He's my basketball coach, and he took me back to his place and slept with me. Like,
should have known crazy.
Better. But yeah, y'all.
He should have known better, bro. At 30-something years old, if you and a young lady is having inappropriate interactions, my boy, regardless of how grown she looked, my boy, cut that relationship off. At this point in time, I'd have kicked off the team. But it seems as though he started it. He started it, bro. He might have been plotting on you from jump. And once he found out your situation, it was like, oh, okay. Opening. The wild thing about this story is if he did that to you, I'm pretty sure he did that to somebody else. The fact that he was so comfortable and he was so meticulous about what he did, because he just took steps. He took steps. How many other young ladies has he done this to? That's the question you got to ask yourself. How many other young ladies has he done this to? Imagine you watching all my videos, laughing your ass off, but you still ain't subscribed. You got commitment issues, dog. It's free. It is free for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way, YouTube not gonna control when or how you see my videos. Come on, people. What's going on? What are you waiting for? I ain't begging. I'm asking nicely. Don't make me ask you again.